Hey friend, what's up? It's me, Devin Marvell, back again with another video. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. I hope by the time that we get to the end of this journey, you guys all hit that thumbs up button for me and you guys all like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Please, please. Today we are talking about the 2017 Soul Train Music Awards. It was a really great show, so let's talk about it, shall we? Erykah Badu was our host again this year. I think that she's been hosting for the past 3 years now. Maybe it's been the past 2, I'm not sure, but she's been hosting and she did an amazing job as usual. Erykah Badu, besides being a legend, an icon, besides being a great singer, writer, just soul sister overall, she is hilarious. Erykah Badu is so funny, and it makes me wonder why she hasn't really like delved into acting, because when she has great comedic timing, and when she did like her skit as Miss, what is her name? Irma Irvin, I think is her name. But when she does that skit, is hilarious. I be dying. I absolutely loved it. I would love to see an Erykah Badu variety show or something of that sort. I'd love to see her have her own talk show or just anything. I would love to see Erykah really expand her brand into other things. She did an amazing job as a host. She came out looking funky fresh, dressed to impress, ready to party as usual, you know, serving us Miss Badu is only Miss Badu can do, okay? So she came out, she looked great, in all of her looks that she served us. She was hilarious, great host. I mean, there's really not a lot to say about Erykah except the fact that she was amazing. She came out, she took a knee for Kaepernick, thought that was a really great and powerful moment. So yeah, Erykah Badu, great host. Keep bringing her back every single year. I can't, honestly, this gig seems like it's just hers, you know what I'm saying? I can't see anybody else really taking over that job at this time. Kind of like how back in the day I couldn't see anybody taking over Monique's job as the host for the BET Awards. Erykah's really put her stamp on this show. So let's talk about the awards that were given out, and then we will go ahead and get into the performances, okay? So we had the Soul Train Certified Award, which in that category we had BBD nominated, Ledisi nominated, Mac Wiles, Layla Hathaway, Johnny Gill as well, and it turned out to be a tie between BBD and Ledisi. I was so happy to see Ledisi win an award for the evening because she is an artist after my own heart. I adore Ledisi. I think that she is one of the most phenomenal singers that I've heard and that we have in this generation. And I love her new song, High. And I'm always saying that Ledisi doesn't get enough credit, but I don't know if she wants all the attention and credit. I don't think all artists are after being, you know, big name superstars. I feel like she's comfortable in the lane that she's in, and she's working it. She's doing a great job. Like I said, she has a new song called High and a new album to back it up. I haven't heard it yet, but I definitely do plan on checking it out. BD also won the award, and they came up there, they were just saying it's been a long time since we've won anything as BBD, and I was like curious as to why they won in the first place, but I did my research and figured out that they actually released an album this year as BBD, and also with the hype over, you know, the New Edition story and all that good stuff, and you know, just shout out to BBD for really cementing their legacy. Video of the year, we had Beyonce's All Night nominated, Bruno Mars' 24 Karat Magic nominated, Usher, Chris Brown, and Gucci Mane for Party nominated, and Solange's Cranes in the Sky nominated, as well as DJ Khaled's Wild Thoughts featuring Rihanna and Bryson Tiller. This one I thought was definitely gonna go to Solange for Cranes in the Sky, because just out of all of those videos, I mean, it stands up next to Beyonce's All Night artistically, but Solange's Cranes in the Sky is just such a fantastic song, fantastic video. I mean, the visuals in that video are just so beautiful and amazing, and that song just means so much to me. It is just such an amazing song because it's like if you could talk to your depression one-on-one, you know what I'm saying? If you could just sit down with your depression or your anxiety and just have a conversation, I feel like that would be what we would say. Like, look, I tried to drink it away, I tried to dance it away, I tried to smoke it away, I tried to shop it away. Like, you know, I've tried. You know, it's just like Cranes in the Sky, y'all. But yeah, it's such a beautiful song. The award went to Bruno Mars for 24 Karat Magic, which I was not mad at. I want Bruno Mars to get his things because 24 Karat Magic was an album, it was an era. Bruno Mars did that. The Best New Artist Award, we had Black nominated, Her nominated, Khalid and SZA. This was just a dope group of people nominated because this is like our new generation of neo-soul R&B artists. I'm really not too familiar with Black's music. I think is it Six Black? I'm not even sure how you say it. And I hate to say that because I know that he makes great music, so that is on my list of homework to do, is to dive into Black's discography and tracks and see what's going on there. Her, I familiarized myself with Her. I think that Her is dope. Great songwriter. Her lyrics are very powerful, and I love the whole mystery behind who is her, what does her look like. I love that she's really just putting her music to the forefront. You can't say anything about her per se because she's only giving you her art as her. Does that make sense? So I think that whole concept is dope in general, and she has really great music. Khalid, I love that Location song. I love his voice. I think it's super dope and interesting. Like I've said before, his album, American Teenager, it didn't really click with me, but honestly, I don't think it was for me. I mean, I'm not an American Teenager, can't relate at this point. I mean, I'm in my 20s. But he has some really good songs. Location is still my favorite song over that Young, Dumb and Broke song, if I'm being honest. And then SZA, who is definitely somebody who has became one of my faves since she came out. And her album, Control, was phenomenal. It's an album that I can listen to from beginning to end without skipping it. It's an album where I have a new favorite song off of it every single week. It's just so good. Her songwriting, woo, man, girl. But that went to SZA, as I hoped it would and as I felt it should. Now, we did have 2 more awards that were given out, the Lady of Soul Award, of course, and the Legend Award. Since those both had performances with them, we're gonna kind of combine those in our performance. Legendary R&B group SWV opened up the show with a medley of their hits. They looked good, they still sound absolutely amazing. I was just sitting there like, that damn Coco, woo, she is a treasure. Her voice is just amazing, and her voice is like the soundtrack to a lot of moments in my life growing up, and SWV just in general. I mean, when I first discovered the song Weak, it was actually off of, and don't hate me y'all, but it was actually, I was in middle school, and singer JoJo did a cover of it on her debut album, and I just absolutely fell in love. If you have not heard JoJo's cover of Weak, go listen to it. And the girl was like in her teens covering the hell out of that song. Like she sang that song down. But that's when I discovered it, and then I discovered SWV and discovered the greatness that is their catalog and their music, which is just phenomenal. They have hits on top of hits on top of hits, and they have the songs that, like, if you play them at any gathering or party, mainly if it's Black people, it's gonna get the party jumping and hype and really fill the room with this sense of nostalgia. So it was dope to see them. They were actually celebrating 25 years, y'all, 25 years as SWV, which I thought was such a beautiful, amazing moment. I'm glad that they are still out here getting to that bag, and they're out here securing their legacy and just holding it down. It's just amazing to see. They just released the album last year as well. They have their reality show on Weed that's no longer on. And I know that they had their problems in the past, but to see them be able to put that to the side and get together and be like, hey, we're better together than we are apart, you know what I'm saying? I know that they all tried to do their solo thing and it didn't really work. That's just how it is sometimes. Not everybody is meant to be a solo artist. You know, when you look at a group like TLC or En Vogue, nobody really in those groups was able to pursue a solo career because they were such a force together and it just didn't work the same apart. Wink, wink, Candy at Escape, okay, girl? Shoot, stop being salty, forget about the past, and let's get out here and secure this bag and our legacy, you know? Because I just feel like she super tried it with the fans of Escape, saying that she wasn't gonna be a part of the new music. Like, that was something that she should have said from jump, you know, that she wasn't interested in it. It's back to SWV. They did an amazing job. They looked great. I love their like 90s vibe that they had going on with like the baseball jerseys and the pleated skirts and like the high socks, and they had their cute little choreography going. At one point, Method Man came out there to join them for one of their songs. They accepted their Lady of Soul award, and they said that this is like one of the first things I think that they've won. Said that they lost majority of the time in the categories that they were nominated in, and I was so shocked to hear that. And it just makes me think like, wow, though, when you think like about the type of competition that they had back in the day and who they were up against, it's like, I mean, they definitely had some tough competition, I can't lie. But I was still shocked to hear that they hadn't won anything. But they were so thankful and humble by each of the women, gave a speech, and it was absolutely amazing. I'm just glad that this show is honoring people that deserve to be honored, that probably outside of the Black community will never get their flowers that they deserve. The next performer that we had was Miss Tamar Braxton performing her new song Blind off of her latest album Bluebird of Happiness. And as far as her look went, I actually really missed the blonde hair. I just feel like the blonde hair has become her signature. So seeing her in that dark black hair kind of threw me off, but I felt like she was kind of going for a theme, like a darkness theme, because her outfit was very dark. She had that big fufala tutu that was dark and the black hair. And you know, the song is just very deep and moving and powerful. So, you know, I feel what she's going for. And honestly, I'm just surprised that Tamar still has a face, because girl, she sang that off. Tamar sang her face off. This is the Tamar that I love to see. She was up there just singing, just pure singing, like no gimmicks, no background dancers, no this and that. She was sitting in a chair, she looked amazing, and she just served you a vocal performance, and it was great. It actually made me go listen to her album Bluebird of Happiness, which it's pretty good, y'all. I think that y'all should give it a chance and check it out. I know, you know, everybody feels different ways about Tamar Braxton, but musically, she's up there, man. She's great. What did you guys think of Tamar's performance? I think she did that. People were talking about like her eyes. She like kind of has like crazy eyes when she was singing. That's irrelevant. The voice. Let's talk about the voice. It was amazing. Yeah, that's real soul music. I mean, just to see how vulnerable she was up there singing that song, and you know, most of us know what she's going through right now at this moment with her husband. So yeah, it was such a good performance. So then we had our annual Soul Cypher. Now this is something that they do on the Soul Train Awards, kind of in the same vein that the BET Hip Hop Awards does it. The BET Hip Hop Awards has a cypher of different rappers. They all come together and they all spit a freestyle or whatever. So we have the Soul Cypher, which is a bunch of R&B singers coming together and, you know, just serving us vocals and ad-libs and, you know, maybe like a piece of a song of theirs or something. You know, it's a very dope, it's a very dope moment, and I look forward to it every single year. So this year we had Mali Music, Fantasia Barrino, Bilal, Faith Evans as well. For me, out of this entire group, Fantasia was absolutely the most memorable. She is everything, okay? She is definitely gonna go down in history as one of the most legendary vocalists of all time. And I'm not gonna sit here and argue with anybody about that. I'm not going to dispute with anybody about that, because that is a fact. Fantasia is an amazing singer, phenomenal. One of the greatest, one of the best. And if you don't believe me, go watch her performing Summertime on American Idol when she was on there, and watch her perform for Patti LaBelle, the Lady Marmalade, the little tribute that she did. Amazing. And then that moment when Fantasia was like, I'm gonna take y'all to church, and then she just was like, yeah, 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 yeah. You know, like, I mean, she just does it. She delivers every single time. Like, what else is there to say? Like, Fantasia Barrino, y'all. Give her her things, okay? She just had an album come out either this year or last year, but it's called The Definition Of, and that album is definitely my favorite Fantasia album, and definitely one of my favorite albums that has came out in the last 10 years. It's good. It is so, so good. Then we had Bilal, who is a legendary neo soul artist. He was singing about some realness, pretty much about Black Lives Matter and just the injustice that Black people face in the world. It was very if you just were really listening to what he was saying, he was really speaking on some real stuff. Just about being Black in America. We had Faith Evans. She came in and she sealed the deal. She's also one who just doesn't get enough credit. She did her classic I Remember, and Fantasia was in the background adding her own thing to it. I could listen to Faith Evans and Fantasia Barrino riff off all day, every day. Oh, and I almost forgot Mali Music. I'm not too familiar with Mali Music. He did a pretty good job, but he really was just, out of everybody, he was the most forgettable to me. Sorry. So then we had a performance from 112. They performed a medley of their hits as well as a new song of theirs off of their new album. It's just dope to see a group like this, still out here in sync, okay, performing. Their choreography was super on point. They all still looked good. They all still sounded like they did back in the day. And it was just really good. It was a really good performance. 112 is a legendary group in the Black community. So like I said before, it's great that a show like the Soul Train Music Awards is giving a group like this their flowers, because otherwise I don't think that they would. They would just become a 90s group of the past. So Tank came out and he was on a piano, and he started out with Please Don't Go, and then he got up and he took that jacket off, and the rest is history, baby. Woo! Tank is just, first of all, let's just acknowledge the fact that he is a great looking man, okay? I don't know how old he is or anything of the sort, but he looks amazing, and vocally he sounded amazing as well. After he did Please Don't Go, he went into his song When We, which is a super sexy song off his new album called Savage that was released this year. Before he got to the end of the song, that shirt came off, and so did I. Just kidding. But no, it was a really great performance. It's dope that he's out here kind of giving us what Teddy Pendergrass was serving back in the day. I loved it. I thought it was a very classic performance. Again, he looked good, he sounded good. Tank. Can really do no wrong in my book. Alright, so Keyshia Cole, she did a fantastic performance of her song Incapable off her latest album called 11:11 Reset. They had a whole lounge type setup, which I thought was super cute, and she was dressed kind of like a lounge singer. She had the hat on and the trousers, and kind of just serving Michael Jackson a little bit, but she looked great, and she was in there singing. Hers is another album that I'm definitely gonna check out here soon. She had this moment in the performance where they had a Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson break it down moment, and they were snapping and popping, and just, it was really good. It was a really good performance. I'm glad to see that Keyshia Cole is still out here doing her thing, because she is a singer that I really adore. We can talk shit about Keyshia Cole all day and make jokes about how irrelevant she is, but at the end of the day, that first album, honey, okay, that first Keyshia Cole album, we're not gonna act like it was not one of the best R&B albums ever released. We're not gonna act like we weren't sitting there in our feelings listening to I Shoulda Cheated and I Don't Love You No More and I Changed My Mind, I Don't Love You No More. That song goes off. Shout out to Kanye West for producing that. Alright, so last but not least, we had the Legend Award, which went to Miss Toni Braxton this year. Again, I'm so glad that we are giving Miss Toni Braxton her flowers as well, because she 100% deserves them. We had a few people doing Toni Braxton songs as a tribute to her, as she sat in the audience looking so fine. We had Ro James. Ro James is somebody I'm not too familiar with, but he was styled down. Whoever styled him, bravo, honey, you did that. He started out with 7 whole days. I thought the performance was kind of lukewarm, just because I could tell that he doesn't seem like maybe he is a true R&B vocalist. He seems like maybe he does kind of his own thing, kind of the way that SZA does her own thing vocally, kind of not wrong. But it was good. It was a nice little performance. He looked great. Loved it. Then Jessie J came out, and I was so shocked to hear that Jessie J was going to be there and doing this, but aside from being shocked, I was thankful, because she is somebody that, yes, this is somebody that you call when you want to do a proper tribute, okay, to an R&B singer. Jessie J is one of those people. That's like really all I can say. She came out there and wow, what a voice. She came out there and she was singing You Mean the World to Me, and she did it justice. She didn't overdo it, she didn't underdo it, she did it justice. I loved it. And that was very toned down vocally for Jessie J. Like, anybody that's familiar with Jessie J, the girl can sing. So then we had Mr. Luke James, who is a vocalist, one of my favorite vocalists. He's super underrated out here in these streets. You can currently see him on Fox's hit show Star. But aside from being super fine, he can sing his face off as well. He's did Unbreak My Heart, which is one of Toni Braxton's signature songs, and a song that is so, it's such a vocal performance that not anybody can just do this song, but damn did he do it. And you know, I usually prefer female vocalists when it comes to ballads, but that Luke James, woo, that Luke James! He hit a high note that just snatched my soul. It made me just question everything that I've ever done in my life. He was just absolutely amazing. And then Miss Toni Braxton herself took to the stage to remind you who she is and why she is there receiving that award. I loved how comfortable she was with the audience. I loved how she was bantering with them. It just made me feel like she needs to be back in Vegas. I believe that she did have a Vegas residency before some years back, but she needs to be back there because she just was screaming like legend, icon, showgirl, you know what I'm saying? Like, she really needs a consistent show of her own, I feel like. I think that she has been on tour though. That's definitely gonna be a goal of mine, is to see Toni Braxton live one day. I have to. Yeah, she took this to the stage and she did Love Shoulda Brought You Home. She did Making Me High. She did one of my favorites, He Wasn't Man Enough For Me. What she did, He Wasn't Man Enough For Me, she went out in the audience and she did kind of was singing with Tamar, which I thought was like super dope. Tamar, you could tell, is her biggest fan. And I love the way that they go up for each other and support each other. Even when Tamar was on stage and Toni was in the audience, you know, them sisters, they really go hard for each other and support each other. And I love it. I wish that I had such a tight family like that. I'm so envious of it. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. Toni looked amazing, she sounded amazing, she did an amazing job. She's super deserving of this award. But who do you guys think should get the award next year? Let me know in the comments who do you guys think is deserving of the Legend Award. Let's talk about it. But to end this video, I just want to say this. People are constantly complaining about the new generation of music, and how music ain't what it used to be. And you know, back in my day, music had meaning and it had feeling. It was about love and yeah. You know what I'm saying? Every generation had somebody nasty. Every generation had a little Kim and Luke. Every generation had a you know, somebody who came and changed the game and changed the sound and moved the genre forward. R&B music is just in a really weird place right now because it's really been infused with hip-hop so much to the point that they've almost kind of become one genre. A lot of the R&B artists kind of sound like rappers, and their beats and the music that they're singing over, it sounds like a hip-hop beat. So the lines have definitely been blurred, and Billboard does not help out with that. I really hope that one day Billboard, the Billboard chart sees the error of their ways in combining hip-hop and R&B into one category for their charts, because they're two completely different genres, first and foremost. So personally, I feel like when Billboard is combining hip-hop and R&B onto one chart, I feel like it's saying black music. You know what I'm saying? Black people music. This is, you know, urban. It's super corny to me, but I see people out there constantly complaining about the state of music today and how they miss the 90s and how they miss real R&B music. But we're not going out there and we're not going out there supporting real R&B music. Real R&B music is out there. If you really want to listen to it and really want to support it, it's out there. These people from you know, like the 90s and stuff that performed tonight, and even others that didn't, are still out here making music, albums that have came out within the past 2-3 years, just to name a few. Let me just list off. Silk. Yes, Silk. There's a meeting in my bedroom. Yeah, they released the album last year or this year. 112 released the album either last year or this year. BBD released the album this year. SWV released the album last year. Tamia released the album last year. Tank released the album this year. Toni Braxton had a new single this year. Ledisi, she just released her 8th album this year. Fantasia Barrino just released an album. Faith Evans had an album this year. Joe had an album this year. Janet Jackson had an album last year or the year before, I don't remember. Boyz II Men, they just released an album this year. Maxwell, in Vogue, they actually have 2 new singles out in Vogue. So D'Angelo just had an album. Who else? Mary J. Blige just had an album that came out this year. Avant. I mean, the list goes on and on. Keisha Cole. Who else who performed? You know, it's just crazy because these people are out here. They're still out here. They're still releasing music, but it's not getting supported. We're not hearing about it. You know, we just group them into an old school legend act, and it's corny, it's stupid. I mean, Ashanti, she's trying to release some new music. Maya released some music not too long ago that was actually nominated for a freaking Grammy at last year's Grammy Awards. Like, it's crazy. Like, we have to really support R&B music if that's what you really love and you want to hear. If that's what you're passionate about, you have to support it. You have to listen to it. You have to buy it. You need to support it by sharing it and letting everybody know that this music is out there. And I'm just as guilty. I am just as guilty. I am not saying that I'm better than anybody when it comes to this. We definitely need to do better in supporting our R&B artists out here. Most definitely. Well, that's all I have to say about it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to watch another video. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stairway to Devin. That is DEVEN. And make sure you like my Facebook page, Stairway to Devin. I have some great content on there as well. And I love you for watching. Thanks for being a friend. Bye.